Welcome to Baker Dave Presents. We're here once again in the Morgan Hall Kitchens at Temple University. It's a working kitchen, so there might be some noises, there might be some stuff going on in the background. Today my guest is Siobhan Skerritt. She's a resident director here at Hardwick Hall at Temple University, and she has brought with her her grandmother's recipe for banana fritters coming right up. Welcome, Siobhan.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm well.
So what do you do here at Temple? You're the...
I'm the resident director of Hardwick Hall.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So you live here? Like
Oh
live
yeah,
on
yeah.
campus?
Like I live with
You
them.
live and breathe Temple University.
Yes, literally every day.
Every day.
Every day.
So every problem anybody has, they call you.
That's typically.
But they also come
what
to you for all the
happens.
great things that happen in their
Yeah.
life, right? I mean, they're like.
Yeah. So like I graduated. I didn't fail my class. You know, things like
So
that.
sometimes it probably feels pretty good, right?
Most days it feels pretty good, and then those other days, like
Maybe
Thursdays,
less good.
Right? It's less good.
But today's a good day.
Yes, today
So
is a good day.
what are we making today?
So today we are making banana fritters, and typically West Indian. Just like in West Indian homes, it could be made for breakfast.
West Indian?
Yeah. So my
So
mother's.
that's so quick. I was having trouble
All
understanding.
right. So my mother's from the from Monserrat, which is a small British island by like Antigua, Bonaire, Curacao. So this is just kind of a typical kind of if you want it for breakfast, if you want it for a snack after school, if you want it for dessert, just kind of at any time
This is
kind of thing.
I'm going to sound really stupid right now, but obviously, geography, not my best subject.
Okay.
So where are we talking? This is approximately
So
southern part of.
like the lesser Antilles, I guess you would say like the southern West Indies kind of, like Antigua, Grenada. I don't know, I just take a plane there and that's where I go. That's all I know. That's as far as it
Perfect.
gets. Right, but I know that we always have to do a layover in Puerto Rico because most places don't go like that far. So like it's not far from Bermuda if you know where that is.
Bermuda is like off the coast of South Carolina, right?
Sure.
No?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, not a geography class
Not at all.
today.
Not
so
at
this
all.
is a cooking class. So we're going to talk about the delicious banana fritters,
Yes.
which sound like pancakes, like I said.
They basically are banana pancakes. Like I remember growing up thinking they were something special
Did you ever
until
put syrup on it?
No, never.
Right, because they wouldn't really
They
have
wouldn't
syrup in that area.
Right, they wouldn't have syrup, but
They
you
don't
wouldn't.
maple trees, right?
But you wouldn't need it either.
Because it's sweet. It looked
Yeah.
like it had quite a bit of sugar considering how. So it's sweeter than a pancake.
Oh, it's definitely sweeter than a pancake.
So does it burn more easily? That's always my fear. If you make pancakes and you add a little extra sugar to it, all of a sudden they burn super quick.
I know that they like my mom would make them super fast, so like super quick, super fast. So I'm assuming that like they just burn
Too
a
long,
little easily.
yeah, because of
Yeah.
the sugar.
Yeah.
All right, well, why don't you start showing me what we're doing here, because clearly I've never made these
Okay. Well,
ever in my life.
so it's super simple. So we start with the.
And you're used to these measurements, right?
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
You don't actually
not
measure
actually
anything
measure,
ever.
but this sounds about it looks
It
about right
looks about right,
of what
right? I
my
mean,
mom would do. So
Similar to, yeah.
yeah. So I would say we would start with bashing the bananas first, but that's already done.
I did that. Isn't
You
that
are.
awesome?
You're fantastic.
Which
That
we want to
made
make
me
a
happy.
point. You want disgusting looking bananas. You want
Yes.
bananas that are beat up, that you don't want to eat anymore.
Yes.
That's the type of bananas you want to get because they have the most flavor.
They have the most flavor,
Oftentimes, I'll actually take, and I'm sure everybody does this, I'm acting like I just invented this, but oftentimes people just take the bananas when they get too old to eat and they just throw them in the freezer.
Yeah, and you can
And what's great about that is that they're easier to mash because the freezer will actually break
them down, right?
Right, so when you unfreeze them, all of a sudden they're like liquid. So then you don't even have to really mash them. So
Right.
keep that in mind. Throw your extra bananas in the freezer. When you get 3 or 4 of them, have some banana fritters.
So that's cool. That's what we do. So we're gonna start. We're just gonna put the bananas in.
We have a thing.
We do.
Look at
Oh,
that.
this is
In
fancy.
case you want to get, oh, you don't do that?
Yes,
You just leave half the food in the bowls when you're doing it?
I mean, it ends up there. Sometimes I have a spoon or a fork, whatever's in the.
Whatever.
you know.
Whatever.
It was like one of the first things I made growing up.
How old were you when you
Oh
made
my
that?
god, I was probably like 4 or 5. I had like this.
And they let you use the stove?
Yeah, I had like this big bird chair. I know. Don't call the people on nobody, okay? I had this big bird chair that like I would stand on, and I remember my first meal was we fried plantains, and then we made these. And
Which are both hot oil. Like you could
Yes.
have totally got hurt.
but I didn't.
But you didn't, and here you are today.
Yeah,
So
look at that.
that's a
Look
good
at me doing big things.
So do you want to add flour now?
So I'm gonna
Or do you want to add all your flavorings?
I'm
first?
adding my flavorings first, actually.
I'm just guessing. I'm not saying, like, I'm looking at, what I know, not necessarily.
Well, like, I was the one to make them, but now my niece is 13, so she's the one that makes them. So, like, I don't do
Right.
that anymore. So I'm
your
going to put in
cinnamon?
my cinnamon and my nutmeg. And then vanilla.
I like how you're like, what is that? You did good with the cinnamon and
I
nutmeg,
did.
though.
I
even
did.
though
I know
it's
the
pretty much
difference.
the same.
I know the difference,
That's
yes.
just salt. You know what I did notice? There's no leavening in this.
No.
That's one of the big differences.
No.
Usually pancakes or something would have
Yeah.
baking soda, baking powder, something of that nature. And
No.
I guess you don't need it.
And we've never put it in. So
Okay.
so I
So then you add
normally
your
mix
sugar,
these up,
and you
right?
Mix all that up.
Sorry, I broke it.
Thank goodness that wasn't like super hot and on.
It's okay. I lived through
You would
other
have
things.
lived through being
Right.
4 and making it, and then burn
Listen.
yourself when you're. No.
I persevered. So
Right?
So we mix those in, get that stuff in. I don't know. Am I supposed to be mixing in a certain way?
I have no idea.
I
It's
don't
your
know.
stuff. Like
I
you're
don't-
showing me. How
Right.
is this how you
I'm-
usually make it?
I don't know. I have a degree in social work and education. I don't know about this stuff. I just make it because my mom would tell me to. So
Your mama told you to?
yeah. Siobhan, we're gonna have fritters. Okay, go make them. All right, whatever.
That's why your mom taught you when you were 4. It's like, all right, I'm tired of making these fritters. You're 4, that's old enough. Let's get you in front of the stand
no,
so that I don't have
seriously.
to make them anymore.
I remember. I don't
That's
know.
genius.
I don't know why, but she was like, "You're gonna learn how to cook," and like
Does your mom like
by a
cooking?
certain age. Yeah, but I mean, all my parents do. But I think just at a certain age, the
Do you have
girls
more
were the
than
ones
two?
that do everything. More than 2.
All my parents?
Well, like so, like well,
Just
I
the way
call
you said that,
right,
I'm
so
like,
like
you
I
have
call
15
like
parents.
my grandma and my aunt,
gotcha.
and like those are like my parents because we all lived in the same house
So,
forever.
did you grow up in the West Indies? You
No,
didn't? You grew up here.
no. I didn't even
I
go
didn't know
there.
it, so your mom came over here.
Yeah, my mom came over here when
Okay.
she was probably like late 20s, and then
So we've added the flour now.
yeah, we had the flour. Sorry, no, I messed up.
Added the flour.
Like late 20s, and then had me and stuff. But my whole family is over here.
and stuff.
So yeah, so we were all raised
Were
here.
they here first, or she showed up first and then said,
I
hey, this
think
is great. Why don't you come over?"
my mom came over first. Yeah, my mom came over first, and everybody else. I'm trying to remember because my aunt and my uncle went to school here, which is interesting because my aunt was an RA and then an RD. So like I've been on
Look
campuses
at you. It's like in the family.
for years. I've been on college campuses for years, and then my uncle was too. He was a grad
Holy
and then
cow.
an RD. So yeah, I remember like he graduated college
Is it
when I was
hard
like
to get
5.
the job? Is it like if you're a cop and your father has to be a cop to become a cop?
No, it's hard.
Like, I don't know anything about our.
It's hard to get the job, but I think because it's harder to do the job. Like you have to like, you don't become an RD because oh my god, I want to be an RD. You're
Yeah,
like,
I can't imagine anybody like if someone
No.
came up to me, no offense,
No, it's all right.
and came up to me tomorrow and said, "Look, I got this great job. You're gonna live with all the students. You're gonna be on call 24 hours a day, and we're gonna pay you only a little bit of money." I'd be like, where's the great, what? I thought you said it was a great job. Like, that doesn't sound like a great
right.
job.
And you have to love it. And I'm honest with my students. Some days I'm like, I love you, and some days I'm like,
Not so much.
I don't want to talk to you. But I'm very transparent with them, and they're like, oh my god, I love you, and I'm like, go away. But they know I love them, my little cherubs. So good days, bad days. And I was actually with the daycare director before I came back into higher ed, which is kind of no different. So.
This is beautiful.
Oh, thanks.
You kept mixing it as if it needed to be mixed more. I'm not
No.
sure if that's the case. Are you trying to get Aaron to, or are you just giving your hand something to do?
I was giving my hand something.
Oh, okay. So this is, I mean, it's very banana-y, not
Yes.
very floury.
No.
So it's not like a banana pancake. It's like a banana fritter,
Fritter,
which is
right.
exactly what you said it was,
Right.
right? So that makes a lot of sense. Why don't we try to turn this on and get
Okay.
the heat going?
Okay.
And then you can tell me more about, I don't see if I can do this
This is
right.
fancy.
Yeah, totally fancy. Unless I screw it up, and then it's less fancy.
Is that like propane or something?
Look at that!
Oh, that's serious.
Okay, so we got the heat on. We don't need it quite so high.
No.
Does that seem good?
Yes.
And you said like it's a couple ounces of oil. You do this with oil rather than butter.
Yes, you do not use butter for this. This is oil.
Is there a reason? You don't know.
Just
Good,
do what I'm
because
told.
oil is good. Butter bad, oil good.
Why is butter bad?
I don't know. I'm saying, is that what the deal is? I'm not,
I think oil just because it's a fritter, like a fried.
oh, that makes
Kinda
sense. But
thick.
it's not deep fried. It's
No,
not
no,
like
no, no.
a gallon of oil,
Not at all.
right? It's just pan fried. Okay, so RD, Temple. Where'd you grow up? North Jersey?
North Jersey, yep. Grew up in Jersey City.
Jersey City. And then you went to college? Not here?
No. I went to Marist in
Where's
upstate
that?
New York. Like, not upstate New York, in Poughkeepsie. It's like
Okay.
an hour south of Albany. Like, when you look at, like, CNN and they're like, oh, the Marist poll says so-and-so is going to...
Oh, that's from there?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
I've actually heard that.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
worked
like
for
I'm
them.
learning so much right now.
Yeah, so...
So you lived up there and you went to school there. You got your
undergrad,
bachelor's,
yep.
and then you came and worked here?
Nope, and then I got my master's at Salem State University
you, like
in Salem,
a
Mass.
master's.
Yeah.
I sit here with just an associate's. I feel a little jealous.
Listen, don't worry about it. There's some days I'm like, you could take that back. Like, it was a lot of
Nice.
work. It was a lot of work.
And it
But-
didn't get you a lot yet.
But
it will.
I mean, it will.
Yeah,
Eventually,
absolutely.
but it's gotten me, I will say that, like, at least with here, like, it's gotten me the experience that I've wanted because my program was so extensive. So they're like, oh,
Okay.
you know how to do this. Come do this.
Come do this too. We've got more work for you to do.
Yeah, do good work, get more work. That's what I learned
That's
here.
awesome, right?
So, but no, yeah, it's been good. So then I ended up here.
And how long you been here?
3 years.
Okay.
3 days, in 3 days it'll be 3 years.
In 3 days.
Yes. June
Does it
10th.
feel like 2 years? Does it feel like
feels
20
like-
years?
No. It feels like, and not like in a bad way. I just feel
Right,
like I'm
and,
just
I
so.
feel like I'm part of this
I'm part of this
forever.
environment, right? So
Like I hate to say this, but I feel like I've known you longer than 3 years. But
Right.
apparently I haven't.
Right, and people are like, oh, so you
Only
remember
3
when
years?
so
Are
and
you
so?
serious?
Yeah, they're like, well, you know when so and so was here. I'm like, no,
No.
I wasn't here then. So yeah, it sounds kind of hot.
It's making hot noises.
Yeah.
How do I turn this down?
I
Oh, there we
don't know.
go.
This
Did
is
you want the
your-
oil to start cooking?
Yes.
I don't think it'll sizzle. See, it didn't sizzle.
No. So
And
that's just
sometimes
kind
you
of
have to put more oil in.
yeah, that should
depending
be,
on
that
how
should be
it's-
that should be enough. That's more than enough.
Just keep pouring until
Just
it's
keep
empty,
pouring until
and
it's
that's
empty.
enough.
Then that's enough.
Right.
So, and it's not like a
A
deep
couple
fry.
tablespoons. I mean,
Yeah.
you're really just trying to cover the bottom. So
That's
that
really all you're trying to do. And I wait till like
It looks like it's getting hot.
it's very hot.
And don't. I'm going to tell you this right now because this irritates the crap out of me. Do not spritz water on your hot pan.
No.
That is the dumbest thing you can do because then all of a sudden the oil comes spitting back up at you and tends to burn you. So because they used to say that, you know, like, well, it's circumcised.
My mother would take
take
some of the flour and put it in,
and it'll brown.
and if it browns, that's when we knew it was ready.
That makes sense.
So-
I didn't have any extra flour
That's
for you
fine.
to do that.
It's
so
okay.
I don't know. We can just assume it's ready when we feel like it is.
Yeah, it looks almost ready.
It looks ready.
It's so funny because growing up, I'm like, well, it looks like it's hot.
You
I
have
think
no
it's
idea
hot.
when you're looking at oil. Like
Well-
it doesn't boil quite like water does, right?
No, not at all. But my
Don't touch the pan. It's super hot.
Yeah, my grandmother would be like, oh, it looks like it's hot, and I'm like, what does that look like?
It kind of does dance a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm staring at the pan now. Such an interesting television right now. All right. So fry some up. I mean, let's see what this stuff looks like. I got you the super long spoon because that's what we like to have here.
Okay. And I'll put this.
Just set it off to the side. We're good. And then you just do small little things?
Yeah,
or
I
you
don't
do
do.
them pretty big.
We're doing pretty small. Kind of like, I guess you would say, not like.
Like dollar pancakes?
Yeah,
Like silver
like
dollar pancakes?
like silver dollar pancakes.
I have this ready for flipping
Okay.
because I don't know how long. You said they cook pretty quick.
They cook very quickly.
It's cool how like
Yeah, it
dances
just kind
around
of
in
yeah.
there. They still are almost like they're deep fried.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, a lot of our foods, like growing up, were pretty fried.
Fried?
Yeah. My mother would be like,
Have you been to?
Yes, I
Oh, you
have
just
been.
said you flew. It takes you
Yeah.
way over.
Yeah.
Duh.
I went.
You
It
still
was
have family there? Or?
yeah. The island actually had a volcanic issue in like the 90s. So like
As in a
Everyone-
volcano erupted?
yeah,
That would be the volcanic
like
issue.
a lot of like erupted. But
Like,
now
do
they're
you know
starting to
anybody
like
that lost their
restructure.
homes, or-
Oh, most of us did.
Oh,
like
really?
you can walk through the ash.
This smells
like,
delicious,
on the-
by the way. I know it's not smell-o-vision, but holy cow, like it just hit me.
Like through the like I remember walking on the ash and being on like someone's like third floor of their house.
Really?
That's how high it went up.
And the ash, is that sturdy that you can just walk on it?
Oh, now it is because it's just been coming out. It hasn't erupted in a couple years, but that's like what it's been. But like the whole side of the island that has like the guava and stuff like that, it's just so lush from the ash being in the. So yeah. So now they're restructuring and doing some stuff and.
I feel like I want to go vacation there now.
Oh yeah, people are starting to go back. A lot of celebrities, my mom said, used to go because it was a quieter
Did
island.
you get it?
No, I think so. Ooh, bam!
That's what I'm talking about.
I
Hopefully they got a
did it.
close-up of that.
Oh,
That was genius.
my grandma would be proud. So yeah, you just wait till like it's brown. You make
It
sure.
looks pretty greasy.
Oh yeah, well, we normally put it on like a paper towel.
Paper towel or
Yeah.
something? We could do that.
So yeah, so you wait until like it's no longer oozing.
We have 2 paper towels even.
Okay.
So when you have your paper towel for your bacon already, right?
Yeah. Well,
Then you can just, you don't eat bacon?
say separately. They don't touch each other. I was that kid that my food. couldn't
Your
touch
food
each other.
doesn't touch?
Yeah.
Are you still that kid?
Sometimes.
Really?
I'll be like,
Is there any food that you're allowed to touch?
rice and beans? That's it. But they have
But
to.
they already are mixed
Nope.
a lot of times.
They have to be separate, and then I'll mix them.
That's completely normal. You're not strange at all.
They have to be separate. So then I'm
Any
gonna.
other interesting facts about you? Now I want to find out how strange you really are.
Oh, I'm very interesting. Trust me. I'll wait for that a little bit, and then I'll flip that over. So yeah.
You don't have to do stuff with your hands all the time.
Okay. I just like to move my hands. So.
So you're married?
No.
No?
No.
You're single? You looking?
Yes. Sure. Sure. I mean, I have a partner, but like, chilling. I'm not married though.
No.
Beyonce said put a ring on it, so I'm waiting for that.
You're waiting for the ring? That's hysterical.
It's true. That's what she said. I was at the concert the other night. She said,
Yeah?
"Put a
How
ring
was
on
it? You've been to a lot of concerts in your day?
No. It's my first concert ever.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
What are you, like 10?
No, I'm like
Like, I'm not trying to make fun of you, but I've been
No.
to a million concerts.
No.
Like, I seriously went, my
Never.
first concert, I was like,
never. No.
probably 5.
I went to like a summer jam when I was like 22.
I don't know what that even means.
It's like when the radio station does like
so
the
that's
big
a concert, right? I mean, there was bands there you knew, or were there a
Yeah.
bunch of nobodies?
No, I remember Kanye was there and there was like fire everywhere and I was just confused as to what he was doing.
Is that good?
Yeah, if you want to flip it over just to make sure like that's not.
Is that how it usually looks?
Mhm.
So it's interesting. It's got a little hole like in the center almost the way it cooked.
Yes,
But that's done.
that's done.
And then you stick it over on the,
On the paper towel to kind of drain. I'll make another
you're going to make
one.
another one?
Sure.
Super awesome. So how was the concert?
She was fantastic. She gave me life. She took my soul. She gave it back. I appreciate her and everything she does.
Apparently you're a fan.
Yeah. I
Probably can't name maybe 3 songs that she does.
from
Like,
Beyonce?
yeah, well, the Ring one, you just said it. So I'm,
You know
if
what?
I had to, right, if I had a gun to my head, I could say, put a ring on it.
Right. That's one. It's fine.
I'm sure that might be about it.
I can
I
name-
feel like I probably know, like if her music came on,
Yeah,
I would
you would
I'd be
know.
like,
You would know
oh,
it's
that's
Beyonce.
I didn't even know.
Her voice is pretty distinct, so like you know it's her. Like yeah, it was a good time. Everyone's there. We laughed, we cried, we danced.
Sounds like a movie.
It kind of was like it kind of was.
We
like,
danced, we
yeah.
cried.
Like it was like me. My best friend came from Chicago, and then 2 of my other friends, and it was great.
Look at you. You're like, you'll have this memory forever.
Forever. Like I didn't even
Are
like.
you ever going to see
Snapchat
her
it.
again? You might ruin it.
Well-
What if you saw her again and she wasn't as good?
No, she's gonna be as good.
But I'm saying, what if she isn't?
Nothing she does is not good.
But it's possible,
No.
right?
No. She's
Like,
Beyonce.
so let's say she quits, she retires.
Mhm.
She's like 80.
And
She
she's-
comes back and
she'll
she
still be
does
great.
it again.
She'll be fantastic.
You don't know that.
I
Like all
do know
these
that.
bands come back and they're not.
Anything she touches is fantastic.
Okay.
that's how I
That's a
feel.
super fan right there.
Oh
folks.
yeah.
You are no joke.
Oh no, I don't play games. Beyonce and Janet, those are my 2 favorites.
And Janet?
Mhm.
But you never saw her.
No.
She wasn't at the Summer Jam.
No, I did buy her tickets, but then she rescheduled because she's having a baby. So that's understood.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
So is there anything interesting you want to talk about? Hey, you know what? I did notice you put sugar on it.
At the end.
But would that be now while it's still greasy? So the sugar sticks? Totally
Yeah,
just forgot about that until
I
just
mean,
now.
we normally like pat it down and then do it because there's still enough.
Holy cow, there's more than enough.
Right. So then there's more than enough, and you just kind of sprinkle some sugar on it.
That is no joke. That's probably good hangover food, right? I shouldn't talk about that on. I'm just saying that it's greasy.
It's
and
greasy enough.
It would be great for after a concert.
Yes, no matter what you
No-
decide to partake
right,
in.
because you're super happy at the concert.
I'm
and then you
super
can
happy.
have super happy greasy food.
And that's what I say. I would just
I would
love
not
them.
suggest eating this every day. Probably that would probably be a bad idea.
Your
Plus,
doctor
it would
would
take
not
away
be
the
happy.
specialness of it.
Right.
Because this is something you only had on special occasions.
And this,
right?
yeah, and it wasn't like an
Once
every.
your mom taught you to make
Right.
it. So
It
that
would
she
be
could
like, yeah, it wouldn't
that
like
you
to
to
be
do
a
the work.
special thing. She would be like, we're having banana fritters today, or it'd be
Get
like,
your butt in the kitchen and make them for me.
or like, I gotta get rid of these bananas. I gotta do banana fritters. So.
See, usually in our family it's banana bread then, right? It's in
Oh,
the freezer until you
yeah.
make banana bread.
We always made.
I feel like if you rolled this in like cinnamon sugar and put a scoop of ice cream on it, it'd be a whole nother experience.
Absolutely. I've done that before too.
Of course you have. Anything else you've done with it? Or this is pretty much it?
That's pretty much it. And then you have it with like eggs and like stuff like that.
It seems like it'd be too sweet for that. Like it really does seem more desserty. But I'm not 100% sure.
It's not. It's just like it can be for breakfast. It's just one of those things. Bananas and plantains are just pretty, I guess you would say, indigenous to like that part of the world. So like we just kind of
interchangeably use
right.
them. I got a confession to make. I have never eaten a plantain in my
what?
life.
Really?
Like you never went to a concert till now? Like I never ate a plantain.
I feel like everyone's at least had.
I used to love bananas as a kid, but I'm actually allergic to them now.
So what's gonna happen?
I love that.
Then you can't eat this. And then
Right. So I have a special guest that's going to come in and do the tasting part of this because I
really?
can't do it. Yeah.
Oh.
So you put like hardly any sugar on it. That's literally all the sugar you put on usually.
Because you don't need much.
You don't need much.
You just kind of sprinkle it on.
That seems like enough to me.
Yep.
All right. So I guess it's time for our special guest to come over.
Okay.
I invited Baker Mo. Do you know her?
No. Hey, girl.
She's gonna come by and she's actually gonna do a tasting. She's been on the show before.
Oh, she was on your Instagram. I've seen her on your Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
She has her own Instagram.
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
So you guys can take over this tasting portion because I can't.
Okay.
And you can tell me how delicious it is.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, we can dig into this one if you want.
Okay.
We can like.
Is the other one too hot?
Break it in half.
Yeah, just break it in half.
Look at that, sharing. Is that what you learned in college?
I actually, when I was in kindergarten, got an unsatisfactory in sharing.
In sharing?
I did.
That's hysterical.
I did. So like, I don't share my food. I just make enough that everyone could eat because I'm not sharing.
But you just did here, so maybe it's a breakthrough.
But there too. Not too much.
Well, I must say it's very delicious.
Thank you. Simple. I didn't know that. I would have.
Well, I know that's why I didn't tell you, because I don't want you to not make it. Like, oh, this is a delicious food. Why would we rob people of the ability to have this delicious food just because I can't eat it?
That's valid.
Right? That's not fair. Like, the world needs to know about your banana fritter recipe, right?
Yeah. It's just like a super sweet, simple kind of dish.
It looks that way. It's all good?
It's all good. I like.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. This is a good time.
Thank you for joining us here on Baker Dave Presents, and a special thanks to Hardwick Hall's resident director, Siobhan Skerritt, for bringing her delicious banana fritter recipe. Join us again next time on Baker Dave Presents, and remember, every recipe has a story.